would you do if there was a hazardous chemical spill in your neighborhood and the toxic cloud was headed your way? Though the natural tendency is to flee, it could actually be dangerous if conditions aren't right. If the evacuation route goes through a toxic area, or if there's not enough time to safely evacuate, taking shelter could be a better option. Usually the toxic vapors are dispersed by the wind before an area can be completely evacuated. Normally, the need to take shelter should not last for more than an hour or two. In the next few minutes, we would like to tell you about some of the things you can do to help yourself if a serious chemical spill happens in your area. Remember, panic never helps anything. The rest of your family will react to your actions and attitudes. Limit your exposure in a toxic atmosphere by going inside of a building. It is best to get out of the area and have no exposure, but in a sudden chemical release, there may not be time to evacuate an entire area of the city. During an emergency evacuation, there will likely be traffic jams that could potentially put people at a greater risk than if they stayed in their homes. During a toxic spill, it is better to be in a building than be in a vehicle. Unless you are told to evacuate, make sure your whole family gets inside, including your pets. Once inside, you'll want to close up the house as much as possible, and do not open your doors until you are told it's safe by local officials. Start by closing and latching all the doors and windows. Latching them makes the best seal. Next, you'll need to close any vents to the outside, like fireplace dampers or skylights. Some furnaces and water heaters have fresh air intakes that bring outside air directly to the furnace room. You'll need to plug these up. Make sure you shut off everything that moves air, like kitchen fans, bathroom fans, ceiling fans, and especially your furnace. After you have sealed up the house, you can protect yourself further by picking one room as a shelter. Pick a room on your highest level, unless instructed otherwise by an emergency announcement. Most chemicals that are of concern are heavier than air and will be more concentrated on the lower levels. The seals around your windows are the most vulnerable points in your home, so try to pick a room that has few or no windows. It also helps if it is on the side of the house away from the wind. A bathroom is usually a good choice because you will have water and a toilet if needed. A master bedroom is also a good choice if it doesn't have a lot of windows and has a bathroom and a phone. A room in the corner of the house is not as good as a room that only has one wall exposed to the outside. Once you have determined your shelter room, you should try bringing a few things with you. You can bring some duct tape and some plastic sheeting to help seal your room. Bring some towels to stuff under the door, a battery-powered radio, and maybe a flashlight and some extra batteries. If you have time, bring some things for your comfort, like snacks and drinks. It's always good to have some water, even if you have something else to drink. Remember, the highest levels of your home are usually the best. If you don't have a second story, stay on the main floor unless you're told otherwise by an official announcement. Once you're in your sheltered room, close the door and don't go out again until you're told to. Emergency personnel will be monitoring the situation closely and will let you know when it's safe. After the room is closed up, you can help yourself by sealing the room better. Start by using duct tape to seal around the door. If there's a large gap under the door, stuff a damp towel in the space. If you have plastic sheeting, seal up all the windows as tight as possible. If you don't have any sheeting, use tape to seal them up. Seal the bathroom vent and any outlets or light switches. Continually listen to the radio or watch TV in case circumstances change. Make sure to keep a phone available for emergency use. Keep one non-cordless phone in the house in case the electricity goes out. Do not call 911 unless you have an emergency like a fire or serious injury. The 911 operators will be too busy to answer a lot of questions. Though you have done everything you can to seal your room, there still may be a small amount of chemical that will leak in. Remember, even if you can smell the chemical in your shelter room, don't panic. You are still being exposed to lower levels of the chemical than if you were outside. The media may provide information on dealing with low levels of that particular chemical, as recommended by local officials. Don't worry about being forgotten. The local officials know what the chemicals can do and will be monitoring the area continuously so everyone can leave their home as soon as possible. As soon as it is safe, authorities will tell you to leave your house. At that time, they will tell you to open all your doors and windows so the house will air out. Some of the chemicals may have seeped into your home, and though it may not have reached toxic levels in the short term, it may be enough to cause harm over a long period of time. Remember, this is not likely to happen in your community, but like tornadoes, floods, and other major disasters, a little preparation can make a big difference. Hopefully this video is giving you some information you can use during a chemical spill. The most important thing to do is to stay calm and do everything you can to lessen your exposure. If you would like more information, you can go to Fargo Fire Department website at fargofire.com or contact your local fire department or emergency manager.